ever see the Great White Hype? That's how I imagine people felt after that Sunday night game.
That's it? What the hell is this microwave fight boost?
What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advance Sports Talk. Alright, so we back again with another episode of Advance Primetime, where I highlight all of the primetime games from the past NFL week before we get ready to roll into another week. Still working out a formula with this, but hey, bear with me. Alright, so we're going to kick this off with the Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. And man, like, look. Oh man, so the one thing that I got right off the bat with this is that the Seahawks, you know, I said this, did I say it last year or the week before, the year before last? I said it during one of those drafts where I said the Seahawks was trying to rebuild the Legion of Boom, and they not quite there yet. I know I mentioned it in the in my Buck Dynasty video, because we actually play the Seahawks coming up. So, but yeah, they not quite the Legion of Boom just yet, but you know they there. they almost there. Yeah, it's getting pretty solid. So, Kyler Murray. Hold up. I'm sorry. Sam Darnold, 18 for 26, 242, one touchdown. Kyler Murray was 27 for 41, 200 yards exactly, two touchdowns, two interceptions. Okay. Yeah, Kenneth Walker, 81 yards rushing. Yeah. Marvin Harrison, 66 yards, one touchdown. Hold on, let me go to the actual stats. And yeah, damn, 6 receptions for 66 yards. Man, that's an omen. But yeah, the Cardinals for this game, they just couldn't get nothing going. They couldn't get the run game going. They couldn't get the pass game going. In fact, the announcers made a point to say that, you know, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison were not on the same page at all. Like, Kyler Murray was overthrowing them. Marvin Harrison was running wrong routes, and yeah, it was just bad. That's actually how he threw one, if not both, of those interceptions. So, nevertheless, the Seahawks beat the Cardinals 23-20. Next. Oh, put your seatbelts on for this one. Oh, man. Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, let me tell you, everybody marked this calendar. That's probably why this was a Sunday night game. Everybody marked this calendar as the game to watch, because this was going to be the like where the chickens came home to roost for them trading Michael Parsons. And look, we already knew that Dallas's defense was cooked, but for Green Bay to do, why would you play to your opponent's strength? Like, you knew that, like let's examine the logic of this. Dallas was dumb enough to trade their star edge rusher because they didn't want to pay him market value. I mean, hey, we're gonna talk about that in a second. I mean, you already know how I feel about Jerry Jones paying his players. Jerry Jones don't care about black people. Yeah, so they were dumb enough to trade their star edge rusher, the one man that kept them competitive, to you for 2 first-round picks and a run stuffer in Kenny Clark. They had to have seen some kind of value to accept him as part of that deal. So you know that they traded a pass rusher for a run stuffer. And y'all tried to run the ball. That's all that y'all was trying to do, was just run the ball. Listen, I understand you gotta run to set up the pass, but every so often you gotta flip it around. You know, you gotta flip it around. Sometimes you gotta pass to set up the run. But man, look, this game was going back on, and you know, and I agree with Shannon Sharp's take on it. This game was good if you like offense, because they the only ones that showed up on both sides of the ball. Oh man, so yeah, Romeo Doubs, two back-to-back touchdown passes. Dak Prescott touchdown pass. George Pickens went off this game. Going into halftime, 16-14. Oh man. All right. Josh Jacobs, rushing touchdown coming out of halftime. Well, 7 minutes in. Who is this? Jake Ferguson. There we go. Yeah, Jake Ferguson got a touchdown. Josh Jacobs got another touchdown. Javonte Williams, who was actually proven to be the Zeke and Tony Pollard stand-in. That torch has been passed successfully in that franchise. So yeah, right down to the last minute of the game, it was just getting it was real close, and all that the Packers could do in the final 4 seconds of the game was to tie it. So we go into overtime, right? Packers win the challenge, or they win the coin flip. They opt to kick the ball to Dallas because now the overtime rules state that each team has to possess it regardless of whether a touchdown is scored or not. So, yeah. Dallas chews up 6.5 minutes off the clock. And Brandon Aubrey kicks a field goal. The Packers then take the rest of the time to attempt to score. I said 6.5 minutes. I'm sorry, I meant 5.5 minutes. So they basically took half of the. Oh no, I was right. Yeah, 6.5 minutes. I'm sorry. No, so it was like 4:42 was when Brandon Aubrey kicked the field goal. So then the Packers drive down, and let me tell you, this final drive was so laissez-faire. It was so not even really laissez-faire. It lacked the luster of the 70 minutes that we've watched before, or at this point 65 minutes. They tried so hard. They came back. Listen, this game was not supposed to be this close in the first place. And to see how the Packers was just dragging and slumping along and, wasting time, just letting time run off the clock. They could have taken 2 or maybe 3 shots at the end zone if they had the time to do it. Green Bay Packers absolutely could have won that game. Like I said, this game was not supposed to be close. This was supposed to be an ass whooping. This is supposed to be Micah Parsons getting revenge, his return to T-Mobile Stadium. Is it T-Mobile Stadium? Yeah, well, wherever they at in Dallas. Man, listen. I think he got maybe 1 sack on the night. But even still, offense-wise, this game was very exciting. How the game ended, no, not so much. Because in my opinion, Green Bay quit. They quit. They absolutely could have won the game. They quit. They were dragging their feet. They said, all right, you know what? We got to hurry up and get down here so we can tie the game. and they kicked the field goal with 1 second left. Jordan Love took a shot at the end zone, and it was ruled incomplete. Now, why the receiver never turned around, I don't know. But usually, when you see paint, that's about the time when you could turn around. You can turn around and catch the ball. Yeah, oh man. But in any case, yeah. So that was the results of the climactic return of Micah Parsons to the Cowboys Stadium. Was a tie, 40-40, and they said that this is the second highest scored tie game. So yeah, it's I don't know. It's everybody else was excited, but nobody was satisfied with this. I don't know. Like there was a few people that was excited. They was like, man, that game was great. Nah, you could probably say that it was because they wanted to see the Cowboys lose. But even still, like, to hurry up and play, I don't know how I would have felt about that. Like, like to tie though. That's now. Granted, this also means that technically Green Bay is still undefeated at Cowboys Stadium. But even still, like, stupid. Every time they tried to run the ball, they would get stuffed, or they would have minimal gain. Every time they threw the ball, the sky was the limit. Everything was wide open. But yeah, nevertheless, we're here. So we're gonna wait to see at the end of the season if the tie is gonna help or hurt either of these teams, because it's a half a game. So yeah. Now, moving on to the doubleheader. We had the Monday night games. Doubleheader Monday night games. We had the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins, and we had the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. So we're going to talk about the Jets and the Dolphins first. AFC East matchup, and it's looking like both teams was really trying to find their groove with with Justin Fields and Tua. This was also Darren Waller's first game back, and he showed out. 3 receptions, 27 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, all right, hey. Devon A-Chain, the A-Train as I call him. He had 99 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. Yeah, Tua threw, he was 17 to 25, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, he threw the 2 touchdowns to Darren Waller, obviously. But yeah, Justin Fields 20 for 27, 226 yards, 1 touchdown. So I don't know. I just feel so bad for Justin Fields, man, because I don't think Chicago should have gotten rid of him. And I see the what they're doing, the project that they're working with Caleb Williams, but they had a prominent quarterback, so I don't know. We'll see. But I just hope that Justin Fields gets he gets a real shot somewhere. I mean, well, this is it, because he's starting for this team, because they could have definitely had the chance to go forward with Tyrod Taylor. But in any case, nevertheless, he actually he tied the team in rushing. Him and Breece Hall had 81 yards apiece. Huh. That's funny. All right, so moving on to Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. There's not really much to write about here. This was yet another ass whooping. Broncos stomped the Bengals 28-3, and once again just proving exactly how valuable Joe Burrow is to the Cincinnati Bengals. So I don't understand why, after multiple Joe Burrow injuries, why the Bengals don't invest in an offensive line. Like, it's not rocket science. Jeez. All right, let's see. All right, Bo Nix, 29 for 42, 326 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. All right, so defense tried to get him in there. J.K. Dobbins, 101 yards rushing. Fingers crossed. Please stay healthy, my dude. Yeah, because if he would have stayed healthy, if he'd have stayed healthy, he'd still be in Baltimore. Did we got anything else? Oh, Cortland Sutton, 81 yards receiving. Yeah, other than that, yeah, there was nothing else to really write home about in this game. It was one-sided. So, yeah, the Jets and the Dolphins was more of a game. Even though the Jets are 0-4. They have, they fought. Matter of fact, they could have beat us last week. So, yeah, it's not like that. It's not like they suck. They just seem to always lose down the stretch. Hold on, let me go back and see what the all right, what they do in week 2? Played the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they weren't winning that. It was 30-10. Pittsburgh, they almost beat the Steelers, 34-32. So yeah, that's it's not like the Jets suck. It's just that they had one game where they was blown out, and then they lost 3 other games by a razor thin margin. So yeah. or one possession, I should say. But nevertheless, that's my analysis of the primetime games for week 4. So, first quarter of the season is done. I should probably do a review for the but I'll play that by ear. I know I still got to do second chance quarterback because we have 5 quarterbacks, 5 second string quarterbacks that stepped up last week. Some of them was only for a week, but I gotta be able to do my analysis of that. But in any case, how did you feel about this week's primetime games? How did you feel about the Sunday night game? That's really what everybody wants to talk about. Were you disappointed? Were you excited? Did it build you up? And then it just let you down? Not even really let you down, it just dropped you. Put your comments in the comment section down below. Let's chop it up. We're going to start this conversation. My name is Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.